Today, we can put almost any food we want on the table, and making the right choices is critical. Food has the ability to help us look younger, even live longer. It's such a fundamental part of our lives, we're constantly inundated with advice. Sugar makes children hyper. Brown eggs are healthier than white. We should drink 8 glasses of water a day. But are any of these true? I'm Dr. Jennifer Gardy, and I intend to find out. My mission? Discover if we can fight disease, lose weight, even improve our memory by putting food claims to the test and finding out whether they're myth or science.
It's just science.
The human body is 60% H2O. Not surprising, given that water is where we came from. But to survive on land, we've had to develop ways to stay hydrated.
It's a hot one.
Fail and our brain can swell, kidneys shut down, we can even die. So, how much water do we need a day? Supposedly, it's 8 glasses. But is that myth or science? To discover that, I've turned to Dr. Susan Barr, professor of nutrition and endurance cyclist. Every time she gets on the bike, she depends on water to keep virtually every system in her body humming along so she can perform at her best. If anyone knows about hydration, it's Dr. B, and she's got a brutally simple plan for me.
So, to put this 8 glasses of water claim to the test, I'm not going to drink any water for the next 3 days. At the end of that, I'm going to do a blood test to see if I'm actually dehydrated or not. So that was my last sip of water for the next 72 hours. So long, water.
8 glasses a day is a hot topic. There are even dozens of apps to help you stay hydrated. Yeah, right. Okay, time to rock and roll. Between the sun and our own body heat, we sweat up to 3.5 liters of water every hour during an outdoor workout. Yet at the same time, we need water to lubricate our joints, protect our spinal cord, and maintain normal body temperature. 24 hours into this experiment, and I've got to say, I'm feeling a bit parched. I'm also thinking dehydration can be pretty nasty. Your tongue can swell, muscles spasm, you can even slip into a coma. So, what the heck am I doing at the beach? Day 2, and I'm seeing fountains. Fountains everywhere.
Thank you.
Thankfully, I am allowed to eat. Although I've got to say that glass of water is looking awfully good.
Really? Stupid app.
Thank goodness, my last day without a glass of water.
Finally, my 72 hours are up, and well, I am certainly thirsty. Am I dehydrated? It's time to find out.
First, a quick check to discover if my skin is dehydrated.
My interest is in...
Dermatologist Neil Kitson has an unusual way of measuring that.
Well, this is a drywall tester. It looks like a taser. Tests the moisture in drywall and wood, but we're going to use it to test the water in your skin. So this shouldn't hurt. So It says you've got about 25% water in the outer layer of your skin, which
Excellent.
means you're perfectly well hydrated from this point of view.
And that point of view is a drywall tester.
Yes, it is a drywall tester.
So my skin is hydrated, but what about the rest of me? When it comes to avoiding the dangers of dehydration, that's really the critical question.
Right this way?
To answer it, I have to take a blood test.
All right, just relax your hand.
Our blood is made up of two key elements, water and a mixture of chemicals. The water in our blood helps maintain blood volume. Get dehydrated and blood pressure decreases, not enough oxygen gets to our cells, and our body overheats, a threat to our health, even our lives. The test measures the chemicals in my blood. The more concentrated they are, the more dehydrated I am.
All right, I got my results. Now, normal hydration levels on the test that I just did should be between 275 and 295. So let's see what I got. 291.
Despite the drought, this cat is hydrated. But what gives? I haven't had a glass of water in 3 days. Well, it's time to get some answers from nutritionist Dr. Susan Barr.
So, Jen, can you tell me what you've had to eat over the past 3 days?
What I've eaten, okay.
I mean, the usual stuff, right?
With like broccoli, maybe some spinach. We did potatoes. That's kind of a classic around our house. Chicken. We actually did a really nice chicken breast.
But where's Dr. Barr going with this? Well, according to her, my chicken dinner holds the answer. Here at Dr. B's lab, it goes under the knife. The chicken, broccoli, and potatoes get chopped into bite-sized pieces, then baked at 100 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. All that's left after a night in the oven is this. Delicious.
They bear no resemblance to my lovely dinner from the other night.
And that's because 3/4 of that, 75%, is water.
Who would have thought food is like a hidden well? Although I went 3 days without a glass of water, my meals were clearly helping to keep me hydrated.
If you were to eat that chicken breast, it would be like having 150 mils of water.
That's amazing. That's well over half a cup from one chicken breast.
Absolutely.
Same goes for the other food I ate. Broccoli is 91% water. Potatoes are 75% water. Fish, 73% H2O, and steak, 65%. We're also hydrated by beverages like the milk in our bowl and the juice in our glass. Even tea and coffee contribute to our daily water intake. And contrary to a popular myth, caffeine does not dehydrate us.
Well, it looks like this myth is busted. You don't need to drink 8 glasses of water a day to stay healthy and hydrated because there's already plenty of H2O in the other things that we drink and the things that we eat.
When it comes to what our children eat, there's a clear favorite: sugar. On average, kids like these wolf down a stunning 40 kilograms a year. So here's a claim we've all heard: sugar makes children hyper. But is it myth or science?
To find out, I've recruited these kids. Over the next 48 hours, they'll be going to 2 parties. At one, they can have all the sugary treats they want, but at the other, we're only serving sugar-free goodies.
But to make this a real test, we're throwing the parents a little curveball. Well, everybody, lunch is served. This is what we are feeding your kids today. This is every parent's nightmare because most believe that sugar goes straight to the brain, and this rush of fuel causes a rush of hyperactivity.
Don't eat sugar like this at all.
Really?
They react badly to it.
But does sugar really alter a child's brain, or is this just a perception that parents have? There's really only one way to find out. Thanks, everyone. What these parents don't know is that they're about to get pranked in the name of science. We're replacing all of the sugary goodies on the table with sugar-free treats and healthy food. Instead of ODing on sweets, the kids are going to get carrots, ham sandwiches, and a heavy dose of excitement.
Woo! Anybody got a really high jump? Anybody got a big jump in the air? No, not that high. You're gonna hit your head.
A sugar-free party should mean calm kids, right?
Shuffle? Can you do the shuffle dance? Yeah. Can you get those feet going? How fast can you get? Who's got the fastest feet?
An hour after it began,
Girls, come on over here. Show me how fast you got your feet.
it's all over. And while we know it's been a sugar-free party, the parents are in the dark.
Usually we don't have that much sugar, and I think when she does have a lot of sugar, she gets, the crash comes down and she's grumpy and just won't listen to what you need to say to her.
She's certainly she's got a little bit of a happy buzz.
I think it would have brought her up, and now she's on the down. And I think it would happen quite quickly.
He's a little grumpy seeming, not his usual chirpy self, again, trying to escape to go back in for more, I think. We don't normally eat any kind of processed food, and sugar for sure, barely ever.
The next afternoon, it's time for party number 2. Today, the parents think their children are getting healthy food.
Strawberry jam tart.
Which, of course, they aren't. This time, the menu is all sugar.
Candy. Yummy in my tummy. Yummy in my tummy. Yummy. No. This is my fourth.
If parents' expectations about sugar are right, it should be chaos after this sugar overdose.
But I want you to think about your breath. And if you can keep your eyes closed, I can give you your special rock. So keep your eyes closed. And you've got the waves crashing against the beach.
The kids seem kinda laid back.
And that sound
But it's what the parents think that counts. And remember, they believe today was sugar-free.
Hi, Charla. Hi, Isabel. So, Charla, what's Isabel's energy like today relative to when you picked her up yesterday?
I would say she seems very calm and reserved.
Very calm?
Yeah, I don't find her hyper at
Okay.
all.
Well, a lot of the kids yesterday seemed pretty revved up from the sugar, but we were pranking you guys, and yesterday they had this much sugar to eat.
Yes.
Now today seems pretty calm, relaxed.
She seems okay, yeah.
Isabel's had about this much sugar today.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of sugar, Isabel. Was it
Yeah.
tasty?
Are you surprised?
But I am a little surprised that she's eaten this much, but she seems really calm right now.
Today, you ready to
Charla
see?
wasn't the only parent who was taken aback.
This much.
I don't think you need any more.
I don't think you need any more. Are you surprised?
I just, I can't believe it, actually. I'm quite shocked.
Everybody probably ate about this much sugar.
Myth busted. Sugar does not make children hyper. In fact, the amount of sugar we consume does not affect the amount of glucose supplied to the brain. Our brain has no way of storing glucose, so the body supplies it with a steady and continual flow.
Oh.
Next up, some urban myths. Or are they? If we have too many drinks, do we find people more physically attractive than they really are? And what about the 5-second rule? Is it safe to eat food after dropping it on the floor? I go to the fun house to find out. It's a ritual as old as time itself. When it comes to picking a mate, looks are a key factor. But is it possible that our ability to recognize attractiveness can be affected by something we consume, causing us to make the wrong choice?
What I'm talking about are beer goggles. The idea that after you've had a few too many to drink, people start to look a little more attractive than they really are. Myth or science?
Here, let's head over here for pictures.
To sort out this claim, I've come to a place where defining attractiveness is the bottom line.
Oh, I love that Roman nose. Okay, turn that way a little bit.
Fashion photographer Liz Bell works with beautiful people all day long, and she knows good looking when she sees it.
In this industry, it's all about your eye. So as an agent, I am known for my eye, of being able to see somebody, see the beauty and the potential. Again, I'm gonna go really straight, really symmetrical. I want to just see your face straight on. What makes somebody attractive and what I'm looking for in a face is symmetry.
Researchers have discovered that symmetry is one of the major factors in identifying attractiveness. The more one side of the face mirrors the other, the more we find that face attractive. So, to find out if too many drinks can impair our ability to recognize facial symmetry and thus attractiveness, I've recruited 2 friends, Michelle and Helen.
Ready for an evening of looking at boys? Oh, then for me. My friends, they get to be tipsy, but I, on the other hand, have to be the sober scientist and the designated driver. To science, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers. To science.
What I want to discover is whether a large dose of alcohol will change what Michelle and Helen think is attractive. To put the beer goggles claim to the test, we've headed back to my place.
Yes,
Come
more
on
drinks.
in.
More drinks for science. Let's
More
do
science. All right, Michelle, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling it.
Excellent. That is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what we want for this.
Now that Michelle is nicely pickled, she's gonna look at pairs of photos from a British study. The one on the left is perfectly symmetrical, but they've manipulated the photo on the right so one eyebrow is raised and the mouth droops on one side.
So remember, your task is simple. Just pick who is hotter, A or B.
Okay. B.
B. Who's more attractive, A or B?
B.
In the British study, 2 groups looked at these photos. The people in the first, like Michelle, had been drinking. The second group was sober.
The A team. All right, what about this one?
A.
A. And these 2?
The question was whether the sober group spotted the hot guy with the symmetrical face more often than the group that had been drinking.
A.
All right, you are done. And now all we have to do is tot up the results and see what the science tells us.
So, how did Michelle do? Exactly the same as subjects in the British study. The sober group spotted the symmetrical face more often than the group that had been drinking.
Claim proven. Beer goggles are real, and alcohol really does impair our ability to recognize facial attractiveness. Cheers.
Watermelon.
I was like...
They call this place the Fun House. Luke and his roomies love to party, but cleaning up, not so much. That makes this the perfect pad to test our next claim.
We've all done it. We've all invoked the 5-second rule. That's the popular bit of wisdom that says if you drop food on the floor, it's okay to eat it if you pick it up within 5 seconds of it hitting the ground. Now, is this little pop nugget myth, or is it science?
We might not be able to see it, but this floor is covered with bacteria, hundreds of different types, from mycoplasma to staphylococci. Some get tracked into the house, a few even come from our own bodies. And while most are harmless, some are very nasty.
Right on. Watermelon.
The boys pretty well pulled an all-nighter. And I've come back to test the 5-second rule on a floor that hasn't got any cleaner.
I've got 3 slices of cheese pizza here, and I'm gonna drop each of them on the floor here at the Funhouse post-party for different lengths of time.
Ready.
Okay, let's do the 5-second slice.
Luke is gonna time a 5, 15, and 30-second drop. I want to find out if the pizza picks up any bacteria in 5 seconds, or if it takes longer.
Okay, 5 seconds is up. Would you eat this pizza?
Yeah, I'd eat it.
All right, well, you don't get to eat this. It's going to the lab for science. Next up, we've got our 15-second slice. Ready to time?
Yep, already.
Okay, 15 seconds. Here we go.
Now we're going to increase the length of the time the za is on the floor to see if this has any impact on the amount of bacteria it picks up.
So how was the party last night?
It was great. I slept for about an hour this morning and ready to go for it again, I think.
After the 30-second drop, I head back to the lab to measure the amount of bacteria on the 3 samples. As a microbiologist, this is right up my alley. First, I swab the pizza in search of bacteria. I then transfer whatever I've captured to plates. The results will be cultured for 72 hours to see if we've picked up any bacteria, and if so, how much.
So this is the plate from our 30-second pizza slice, and as you can see, it picked up a fair amount of bacteria off the floor. What about the 15-second? Well, even though it was on the floor for half as long, it picked up pretty much the same amount. Now, the big question is, what about the 5-second rule? Well, you can see for yourself. Myth busted. Our results echo those of researchers at Clemson University in South Carolina. They found that food picks up bacteria the moment it hits the floor. Doesn't matter whether it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes.
Coming up, I make the supreme sacrifice, no bacon for 2 months, to test the world-famous blood type diet. And does size really matter? When it comes to dinner plates and losing weight, that is. Keeping your weight down is key to staying healthy. Most people attempt to do it by watching their calories, but choosing the right diet, not so easy. One of the most popular is the blood type diet. It's based on what our ancient ancestors were supposedly consuming when each blood type evolved.
Since 1999, the book that introduced the blood type diet has been a huge hit. Over 7 million copies sold and counting. Now, its premise is pretty simple. If you want to lose weight, fight heart disease, even slow aging, you have to eat very specific foods determined by your blood type. So if you're type O, that means you're supposed to eat a lot of meat. Type A's are supposed to have a mostly veggie diet, and type B's, dairy and fruit. But the question is this diet myth or science?
First step, where did the diet come from? Here's how Dr. Peter D'Adamo explains it in his book. Around 40,000 BC, Cro-Magnons ruled the earth. Their fuel was meat, and their blood type was O. That's why he says O-types should eat protein. When humans became farmers, D'Adamo argues that blood type A evolved. Grains and veggies were the staples. That's why his diet recommends these foods for people with this blood type. According to D'Adamo, when we became herders, our diet and blood type changed again. Dairy products, meat, and fruit were on the menu, and blood type B emerged. Dr. Ahmed El-Sahimi likes a challenge. He studies how our genes affect the food we eat. The perfect guy to take on the blood type diet and put it to the test.
Hi, Jen.
Oh, hey, Doc, how's it going?
Enjoying that sandwich there?
I am, but why do you ask?
Well, as of today, that's going to be the last bacon sandwich you have for the next 2 months.
No bacon.
Instead, I'm gonna eat nothing but veggies. I'm an O-type, so according to the diet, this is exactly opposite to the meaty meals I should be eating.
You've had your blood drawn before?
I have.
Okay. No fear of needles?
Nope.
But first, I get my blood taken. The aim is to check my cholesterol and iron levels and a few other key health markers.
If this diet really works, well, after 2 months of eating vegetables, exactly the wrong food for my blood type, these markers should be worse.
Luckily, over the next while, my work takes me all over the world. I get to eat vegetable samosas on the streets of Malaysia, palak paneer in Vancouver, and salad on the Strait of Malacca. Plus, just about every vegetable on offer from Tokyo to LA. I even get to do some vlogging, food blogging. Back home, my first task was to get my blood taken. Now it's time to visit Dr. El-Sahimi. Because I've been eating the wrong food for my blood type, my health markers should be worse. But are they?
What we found after the 2 months of following the opposite blood type diet, your markers actually improve.
Wow.
LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, went down by about 8%.
Nice.
And HDL cholesterol, which is the good form, actually went up by almost 20%.
Wow. What about some of the other things that you looked at?
Some of the
My level of vitamin D up by 9%, and a B vitamin folate up by a huge 51%.
So even though I was eating the wrong diet, and we would have expected if there was something to this blood type myth that the markers would have stayed the same or maybe even gotten worse, I improved across the board.
Exactly.
So when it comes to the blood type diet myth,
busted. There's absolutely no evidence to support the blood type diet.
Results confirmed by a larger study that Dr. El-Sahimi conducted with nearly 1,500 participants. Dieting or not, you don't have to go very far these days to grab a bite. For most of us, having enough to eat isn't the problem. It's having too much to eat that's killing us. High-fat prepared foods are everywhere. In just 20 years, portion sizes have tripled. Even my favorite yogurt is made with added sugar.
so what if we could get thinner without even having to diet? Well, here's a claim for you that the color and the size of your plate can help you lose weight. Myth or science?
To discover that, I've come to Cornell University, where they actually study this kind of thing.
It's gonna be a 2-course meal. You're gonna have pasta, you're gonna have ice cream. So just help yourself. The pasta right over there.
Dr. Brian Wansink runs the university's Food and Brand Lab.
The pasta just right
He
over
wants
there.
to discover whether plate color, one that contrasts with the food and one that doesn't, will affect how much people serve themselves.
Right there.
And he's cooked up a couple of experiments to find out.
What we're doing today is inviting these people to what they think is a free lunch. But it's not a free lunch. They're actually test subjects. So when they come in, I'll give them one of 2 different color plates, either white plates or red plates.
After they serve themselves, I stealthily weigh their food. Knowing how much they put on their plates is key because we eat 92% of what we serve ourselves. As a result, the more we load up, the more we eat, and the more weight we gain. So, how much pasta did these unwitting guinea pigs serve themselves? And did the color of their plate make any difference?
Now, if I could get the two ladies in blue to stand up here.
First, Dr. Wansink checks out how much white pasta was dished onto the red plates.
You both took about 80 grams, 79 grams and 80 grams. That is not very much for lunch.
But the amount of white pasta served onto the white plates, totally different story.
White pasta and white, if you can stand up, please. Oh, look at this. You know, on average, do you know how much more you guys served than they did?
Probably, I mean, we're about the same size, so I would think we would have served about the same amount.
Yeah. It would seem that way because the same size plate, you know, everything. What happened? You guys served almost 50% more. Is it just a little bit more than 50% more? Now look at this one woman. I mean, she clearly does not overeat as a habit. She's very thin and probably watches her weight very carefully. I mean, these cues around us, if we don't change them, they will influence even the most high will-powered, earnest person in the world.
Dr. Wansink is not only concerned about the influence of plate color on our eating habits, but also about the impact of plate size. So for dessert, everyone gets ice cream. But half the test subjects get a 16-ounce bowl, which is pretty darn big, while the rest get an 8-ounce bowl. Will the size of the bowl influence how much ice cream they serve themselves?
So let's just take a look here at about 21 grams. Let's see. We got here 43. Okay, that's an average of, I guess, about 32 or so.
Next, it's the big bowls.
Whoa. 110?
Oh no!
I was embarrassed to weigh that.
I didn't think I took that much.
70, 80, and 65. Oh. Wow.
Oh no.
That's about 80 grams compared to 30. I mean, that's almost more than twice as much, or it's a little bit more than twice as much.
In experiment after experiment, Dr. Wansink discovered that when you double the size of a bowl, it increases how much people take by up to 56%. Oh my gosh. And it's all caused by a simple illusion. Check this out. Which burger is bigger? The one on the left, right? How about now? That's the Del Boeuf illusion in action. The large plate tricks our brain into believing that the serving of food is smaller.
Well, as much as we want to believe we're master and commander of our food decisions, we're not. We're tremendously influenced by the environment. We're influenced by the size of a bowl, by the color of a plate. And if any of these things causes us to eat even just 50 calories more during the meal than we otherwise would have, if that happens every day, we are going to be about 2.5 kilograms heavier 1 year from now than we are today.
Claim proven. If you want to lose a few pounds, reach for a smaller plate. And don't forget about contrast either. Remember that dark food goes on a light plate and vice versa. And if you want your kids to eat their greens, well, what color plate do you think you should be using?
Coming up, can caffeine improve our memory? Or even better, enhance the memory of a police officer? I joined California's finest to find out. We already know food makes us healthier, but can it also do the unexpected? Here's a radical claim: caffeine can improve our memory. Myth or science? Being a police officer is a demanding job. That's why they train for every possibility.
Please freeze! Please stop!
But while the gun is critical to a police officer, here at Golden West College in California, recruits will learn that it's not their only weapon.
All these involve observations of your part. A lot of times they're going to put you in areas that you're going to make observations.
At Golden West, they hammer home one lesson. Spotting the little things is the key to good police work.
So you're looking to try to remember as much minutiae as you can, as many of the fine details as you can. Your powers of observation become critical.
When's the last time you fired it? Is that dirt on my finger?
Yes, sir.
Why would there be dirt on my finger, Amadei?
Now the man who coordinates this training program, Steve Ames, is wondering about adding a new weapon to the arsenal: caffeine.
When police officers go in the field, they've got what we would refer to as a toolbox worth of equipment for themselves. A firearm, a baton, a taser, pepper spray, and could it be feasible that some sort of product, such as caffeine, could be also part of that toolbox to help their cognitive skill and memory? I'm very curious to find out.
But how do you do that? Well, you turn to Dr. Michael Yassup, a specialist in neurobiology and memory at UC Irvine.
There's been a lot of research on caffeine, looking at its effects on processing speed, vigilance, attention. But my interest is really whether caffeine strengthens memories, makes them more resistant to forgetting.
To find out, Dr. Yassa has developed a test he's going to run on these recruits. Their task is to examine nearly 200 images coming at them rapid fire. Then they're served a cup of coffee.
There you guys go. And it doesn't matter whether you grab one or two, just keep your cup afterwards so we know which number you were.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For at least the intent of caffeine.
Half the recruits get a brew with 200 milligrams of caffeine. The other half gets decaf, and only I know which is which. When we consume caffeine, it's quickly absorbed into the bloodstream and carried to the brain. When we acquire a memory, it's processed in our cortex. Storage occurs in the hippocampus when the same group of neurons is fired over and over again. The question is, does caffeine improve this process and make those memories stronger? The next day, the recruits are back for the second part of the test. But as Dr. Yassa makes clear, this time they have a different task.
So this is a memory test for the items that you saw yesterday.
Today, the recruits must try to remember which images are the same as yesterday, which are new, and which are similar. Dr. Yassa is focusing on this last category because it reveals something neurobiologists call pattern separation.
Okay, have a look at these, Jen. Tell me what you see.
Okay. Some pairs of images. They're pretty similar to each other, but there are some slight differences. First pair is light switches. One is on, one's off.
The same goes for the rest. Pairs of images, one slightly different than the other.
That's exactly right. And your brain has the ability to pick out those differences, and that's what we call pattern separation.
What Dr. Yassa wants to discover is whether the caffeine group is able to spot these similar items more often than the decaf group.
That indicates to us that they've had a deeper level of retention if they can pick out those subtle differences.
In other words, their long-term memory is being improved by caffeine.
Exactly.
It's an extremely challenging task. The recruits are trying to remember images they saw a full 24 hours ago and decide whether they're similar or not. The test over, it's time to discover whether the caffeine had any impact.
How did the recruits do on their test?
It turns out that the recruits who had received the caffeine were actually better at spotting the similar items than the ones who got the decaf.
Given the accessibility of caffeine, the applications are endless.
And clearly there are groups that can benefit from this approach. And caffeine could be used as a tool, as a cognitive enhancer. Combat situations, for the police, for any other group that needs to have that kind of stimulation to be able to attend to details and be really observant. And this is something that's important for their jobs. I can see an application there.
Looks like this claim is proven. Now, Dr. Yassa has administered this test to hundreds of subjects, and our results with the recruits exactly mirror what he's seen in his lab. So in the future, morning roll call just might be served with a hot cup of joe. Right?
Yes, ma'am!
Discoveries like caffeine's ability to enhance memory reveal how far we've come in our understanding of food science. But for food detectives like Dr. Massimo Marconi, the claims keep coming. Luckily, he and other food scientists have a secret weapon, a machine that can measure the individual components of what we eat down to 1/10000000th of a gram and sort out this seemingly endless flood of claims.
Okay, here's one of my favorites. Oranges are the best source of vitamin C. Myth or science? Massimo, what's the verdict?
Myth.
Myth, that's right. As we discovered, a cup of oranges, that's about 1 medium orange, has 70 milligrams of vitamin C. Now, that might sound like a lot, but consider this. Strawberries have about 104 milligrams of vitamin C, and 1 cup of bell peppers has a whopping 300 milligrams of vitamin C.
Even broccoli has more vitamin C than oranges.
Even broccoli.
It's called the perfect workout food, chock full of potassium to keep our muscles going. But are bananas really the best source of this mineral?
1 banana contains about 358 milligrams of potassium. Raw spinach contains about 558 milligrams. And 1 potato, get this, microwaved with its skin on, contains 650 milligrams of potassium.
In fact, if one looks at the first food guide, it indicates that we should consume 1 potato per day.
Nothing like a post-workout potato.
What about eggs? Are the brown ones really healthier than white ones?
Oh, of course not. The shell color makes no difference to the nutritional value or the taste. So where do brown eggs come from? Get this, chickens with red earlobes.
How about salt? Sea salt sounds so much more exotic than table salt. But is it actually healthier?
Nope. Sorry. My fancy sea salt here, kosher salt and table salt, well, they all contain the same amount of sodium. The only difference is taste and texture.
Then there's sugar.
Now, a lot of people, myself included, think that brown sugar or honey or agave syrup are better for you than processed white sugar. True? Nope, it's a myth. It turns out a sugar is a sugar is a sugar, and they're all high on calories and low on nutrients.
I think there's just the one.
When it comes to our health, there's nothing more influential than the food we eat. It fuels our body, affects our brain, and fights off disease. But making the right choices is extremely difficult. We're inundated by so many new diets, food fads, and food myths, it's easy to be swayed. So I'm not giving up. I've got more myths to bust. Is it easier for men to lose weight than women? Are 6 small meals a day better than 3 large ones?
Is a gluten-free diet really better for you?
The answers are out there, and I'm going to find them as I continue my quest to separate myth from science.